Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our unique educational series. So in these series, we're trying to help people coming to Canada, find and define a pathway for themselves. And in the course of this series, we have with us Mr. Zia Naqvi, who is helping us help you. So Mr. Zia, we're looking at, after what we've discussed in the past two episodes, today we decided to look at Mr. A. And Mr. A wants to come to Canada. And let's just assume that Mr. A is actually highly educated and a professional in his own country. So how would he go about coming to Canada?
Okay, so as I explained that there are several programs that intake individuals to immigrate to Canada. So basically, we need to have that person or Mr. A assessed first.
Right.
So we would see whether that individual, what is his age, what is his education,
okay,
what is his marital status, kids, their ages, and the net worth.
So I'm just going to ask you quickly one question. There are a lot of people I know, they're always interested in, does age, is age supposed to be golden, or is age supposed to be something, a little to be shy about or ashamed of? I mean, do you score better if you're older? Can you share that with us?
Yeah, that's $1 million question. As I said, Canada needs people from every aspect of the life. So definitely when you said golden age, yes, if you fall into the category of skilled worker and professional people, there is a kind of cutoff age. Because what they do, as I explained before, they put them in a pool of candidates. And in the pool of candidates, all those eligibility criteria are scored, meaning that the individual with younger age will score higher.
Right.
And an individual with a master's degree will score higher than a bachelor's degree. So you would have a score at the end that will be made up from your age, your education, your level of English. That is another very important for a skilled worker category.
Of course.
So in the higher the better, age lower the better, things like that. So once that comprehensive score comes in, then it defines what are the possibilities for you.
And when we talk about English, I'm sorry, just a quick note there as well. When we talk about English, what is the tool that they expect you to use there?
Yeah, basically, they accept several English testing organizations. IELTS is one, IELTS is one of them. Another is SALPE, which is Canadian, which is not widely available in the world, so it's not very familiar by other people. I guess it's available in UAE, in India, and definitely in Canada. But some parts of the world is not available, and it's not that frequently available.
You mentioned CELPIP. Is that CELPIP?
Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay.
And IELTS is the most popular one, I guess. So now what they started doing for years now, they do all the objective scoring, meaning that there is no subjectivity here, that the officer will decide but they would actually take the score from the other organization. So your English would not be judged by an interview or an officer that used to be years ago.
Okay. Good.
It will be judged by your IELTS score or similar.
Right.
Likewise now your education, because different countries have different educational levels and degrees and certificates.
Yeah.
So now they have different organizations contracted, and they are basically will give you an evaluation of your educational is called educational assessment.
Right.
So they will take your credentials and evaluate them and give you equivalency certificate. So whether that is equal to masters in Canada or not, it's equal to bachelor's or not. So
Right.
WES, World Educational
Yes.
is one. There are several. So there is a list. In any of those, you have to evaluate your educational certificate, diploma, and degrees. You have to go through English testing for IELTS. And once you have these two, without these two, you cannot even apply in this category. It's a mandatory requirement.
Okay.
And with these, you can apply. And again, at the example I gave you of a waiting room, you get into a pool. But as I said, everything is transparent, and as everything is fair. You already know before even going into the pool that what your scores are and whether you have a chance or not. So right now, like the scores are going like 470 and up.
Yes.
Yeah. So you would know beforehand that where you stand.
I know of somebody who is actually an engineer from back home, and when they tried to get themselves evaluated, they found out that although for us, you know, in our own country, which is you know, where the person is at as well as Pakistan, and their degree was actually considered a bachelor's degree. However, in our country, of course, it's you can start work after that, but when they tried to get themselves evaluated, they found out that they would have to do a master's program in order to get a score that would be, you know.
Yeah, it's a generally these days without a master's, a Canadian equivalent master's, you probably don't have a chance in federal skilled worker.
Right.
And the general rule is that Canadian masters, a bachelor's is 16 years. So when you have like your high school, grade 12, after that, normally in our country is 4 years is a 2 years is a bachelor's and 4 years is a master's. But over here, 4 years degree is called undergrad and bachelor's.
Yes.
Yeah, so
exactly. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
That is a big difference, and people are not usually aware of that, and they think that being an engineer or a doctor from you know, from those countries is enough. But then
no, but
you know,
doctors from our countries, mostly subcontinent countries, are considered masters.
Okay, right. So engineers would have to, because I know that this person had to do an MBA, and then of course they're taking it as an executive class, and you know, to accelerate it, because they need that master's title.
Master's could be even 1 year compressed. That is also valid.
Right, right. So Mr. A would have to have an equivalent, a Canadian equivalent master's you know, degree, right? And it should be evaluated with the international evaluation program. Usually we have, as you mentioned, WES.
WES, yeah.
Right, and then as you mentioned, the English language testing would be another one of those preliminary steps.
Yes.
It could be IELTS, it could be CELPIP, but IELTS is the one that's more universally available. Right.
Yep.
Right. So anything else that you would want to put forward for Mr. A today?
Yeah, so what I normally advise to the potential candidate for federal skilled worker is that the one thing that they can change, they cannot change their age, they cannot normally change their education, but what they can change is their English score. And it's weighted very heavily on the overall score. So your English, if you can improve that and you can bring highest possible score for yourself, that is the area that you should actually work on and really put your efforts in.
Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. I think that is absolutely perfect information for Mr. A to get his application started. So I think
it's not a situation that the people who don't fit in the skill category, they don't have any hope.
Right.
There are other venues for them, and definitely we'll talk about those.
Yes, yes. Next, in our next program, we'll definitely talk about Mr. X perhaps who's not from this category, and it probably just fits into another category that appeals more to another segment of our population, right? Thank you so much, Mr. Zia, for being a part of the series, and we shall see you again soon with another such episode.
Okay, thanks. Bye.